What's up, everyone? Welcome to Joy of the Hobby podcast, episode 14, an Essential Credentials production. I am one half of this amazing team. My name is Matt. You can find me on Instagram at Tomcat Sports Cards or Essential Credentials Podcast. I'm also joined by my good friend Ben, who just returned from the Natty 2025. Ben, how are we doing, man?
A little tired. That was a lot of walking. They increased the amount of space for the show, including an upstairs space for new tables. So lots of walking, lots of talking, making deals, meeting people. So overall exhausted, but also kind of on a bit of a high because it was really, really fun.
Good.
I think, like we talked about with the last episode, going in with a different strategy of just enjoying the show and having a good time. Enjoying looking at cards, talking with people. Made it a lot more fun and a lot less stressful than feeling like I had to hustle and grab inventory or find things that were good deals, So all in all, really great show. I think they did a really, really good job this year.
Good. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing about it. I got a few questions for you on that. And for everybody that ends up jumping in, and if you're here, Ben and I are mostly going to be covering the National. He's going to show us a little bit of what he returned with, his loot that he returned with, and then we're going to end with some rapid fire questions, not just for he and I, but for the audience as well. So you guys can all jump in there and share some of your answers in chat. So I definitely look forward to that. Well, my first question isn't National related, Ben. Maybe it is, but we always like to start off our episodes talking about like what is bringing us joy in the hobby currently. So, excluding the National, because that's the obvious answer, is there anything other than that that's also bringing you joy in the hobby right now?
Yeah, I mean, funny enough, excluding the National, hockey and F1, so like having different lanes that I haven't explored before,
love it,
are really, really fun. So sort of talking about the National, it was fun to actually look at hockey tables instead of just passing them by like I had done every year before.
Usual, it sounded like. So
there was more than usual. And again, one of the nice things about hockey is it's not mixed in. You are a hockey table. Like there were hockey tables that were like buying only hockey. Like this is what we do. So you can come and sit at the table and look at hockey. And like for me, it was a totally different experience to pause and look at those tables, but really just exploring hockey cards, having a different avenue. And then on the other side, having my wife be interested in F1 and being able to like start a little collection or talk cards. And if you like this guy or you think he's going to do well, maybe this is something we pick up. This is what this looks like a little bit of the fun of having somebody else to collect with, this interested in the thing, even though she knows nothing about cards.
Right.
The joy of like connecting her new love for the sport with the cards is really, really fun. So
especially because you're into that, right? So it's nice that you guys can she can share in what you're really interested in, but you're both sharing in the same interest of F1. I think that's really cool. It's almost like ever since we started this, having Luke on, once Luke came on, after that, you and Sarah got into F1 and collecting together. And then ever since we started this, Persh, me, and all the other hockey guys got you kind of headed towards that. So, and then I'm getting back into collecting A-Rod. So it's kind of interesting how we probably didn't even plan for any of those things to happen, but naturally they just kind of,
look at our beginning of the year goals. I mentioned nothing about my wife is going to be at F1 or you guys and the audience and everyone that's cool that shows up in comments is going to reel me into hockey. Like I could have never predicted that, but that's kind of part of the fun of the hobby is like you just let it take you where it takes you. And it's been a nice reprieve because there are times I think player collectors, Luke and guys like that will relate to the fact that it starts to feel like a bit of a stressor or a burden to like find the next thing.
Yeah, definitely.
If you have a collection you've been working on for a long time. So it's so nice to like circle to something that's like, there's no stress over here. There's no expectations. There's nothing that I've been like hunting for a long time. It's all just like new field over here to play in.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, I think having those, like you said, you called it different lanes, that those are super important to have, and I like being able to bounce my interests around. And that was something I discovered, when I first stopped collecting and sold all my A-Rods. I I kind of, bounced into all the different avenues just to kind of see what it was like. Unfortunately, it was expensive, of course, to get into basketball a little bit with Duncan Robinson and get into, modern baseball with Tyler Glasnow. And then, make my way to 90s hockey, then modern hockey. So I've kind of, and then football with Justin Jefferson. So, it's nice to be able to, spread your wings a little bit, because you don't get completely burned out and stressed out by, just collecting one thing. I do want to say hi to Persh, our man right here, our dude, our YouTube guy, Penguins fan, of course. Awesome to see you here. And of course, the announcement was made that it's going to be in Detroit in a couple years. So, that's huge for a lot of people. I know Greg was pretty excited about that. We had a little chat about that. So he's going to be there. What's up, Jeff? What's going on? Jeff, how are you feeling about John Gibson as your number one goaltender? I was watching, I don't know, Ben, if you watch the Hockey Guy on YouTube, you should definitely subscribe to him.
I don't, but I will be subscribing after this.
He's an older dude, but I love it, man. It's just knowledge-based in his opinion, but it's all just dropping knowledge so you can keep up with the league with him by itself. So he ranked all the goalies, and Gibson was in the top 20. So I'm really curious what he thinks.
Okay.
David has announced that David Mercer is here.
Perfect.
Nice to see you, David.
Right on time.
And then, what's up? Sticks and Seams. Just saw your newest pickup video. Obviously, love his background's rotating, man. I love it. We got new Griffey stuff going on, but nice to see kind of he's the same way. Michael's the same way, like variety of pickups, right? He's not like grabbing just Griffey. He has his modern stuff and his vintage and vintage autos, Hall of Fame autos. Like, he's in a great example of just kind of spreading the love a little bit. Brent, nice to see you back here. Hope you're doing well. He's better than, okay, there we go. Nice. Awesome. Well, for me, I'll be quick to this, but I had a thought, and I almost said it out loud today. I have been kind of working my way through like the definitely keep and trade sell pile of flurries, which I know people are like, are you out of your mind? I'm like, dude, I don't need to own over 1,500 cards of this guy. This is insane. And I'm working on a trade that will be the biggest trade of my life. That's all I can say. So I'm making good progress toward it.
Nice.
But I look through my down here. I have a red, like a smaller box that holds a bunch of top loaders, like the nicest patch cards and patch autos and thicker ones, the thick boys. And I thought to myself today, dude, this collection is freaking amazing. And you know me, I don't sit here and toot my own horn. I'm not ever going to get on social media and like sell myself, because that's just not what we're about. Right.
Yeah.
I feel, but just today to myself, I'm like, it's almost unbelievable. And it really made me wonder, like, when's the last time anybody in chat or you did this? Like, we're very focused on next thing comes in, card comes in, scan it, put it in, the database, put it away. That's where it lives. And I was talking about this with Greg and Alan on the Essential Credentials. Like, when's the last time you guys legit appreciated what you have? Like, because I don't think you realize what you have. Like, I told Alan, I'm like, no offense to you, man, but you've got insane Bonds cards, like once in a lifetime cards, and you've got several of them, including
truly incredible collection.
Mirror Gold. Greg's got the best Tim Salmon collection that's on the planet. I'll argue that till the day that I'm not on this planet anymore.
That's true. We're just going to say that is true.
Yeah, it is. And I think it's so easy for us, man, to lose sight of that, and not from a value standpoint, right? I mean, it helps to know that all my cup patch autos are $300 to $500 to $1,000 cards, whatever. But it's just, they look awesome. You know what I mean? Now that I'm playing hockey, I'm like, this is just like full circle. I cannot believe how, and I'm working it up a deck. Like, I can't believe it. So I'm kind of curious before we get to the national, like, have you had that this year where you've like sat back and looked through the collection and be like, holy moly, this is really something else?
So I actually had that recently, because before I went to the national, I pulled out everything in the collection and flipped through every single card. I have a very curated collection, so I don't have like a bunch of cards. But I flipped through everything to see if there's anything in there that I might want to just take with me as like trade bait or partial trade for another card. Like, are there things I'm happy I have in my collection, but I would be willing to let it go in trade for something else that I would really, really like right now.
Right.
And I literally flipped through and like, I mean, even once I hit the Ichiro section, like because I have Ichiro and Bonds in like a separate box. I was like, man, I can't believe what I've put together here. Like, I think there was a period there where I was just really into it, and I was doing like the almost like a transaction, right? Like you receive a card, you process it, and you like put it away. It's like, all right, transaction complete.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I went through and I went through everything. I was like, yo, you should do this more often. Like, maybe you need to figure out a better way to, put these in a place where it's easier for you to like pull them out and look at them more frequently. Right. I do make a point to just like flip through like a section, take out. So I have like 3 cases that house my main PC.
Right.
I'll take out like one of those and just kind of flip through it for fun, like the alphabetical one.
Yeah.
Flip through it just to see what's in there. But yeah, it was a really good reminder. Like, man, you have a lot of, and then of course it was very hard to pick cards. As I flipped through, I was like, I like this one. Oh, I love this one. Oh, I remember when I got this one. Oh, this was a fun story.
Yeah.
There's almost with everything that I've got now, because my collection is smaller, there's some sort of like little emotional attachment or like a story, or here's when this happened. And I remember talking to this person about it before I got this card, or I saw this person's and I asked them about it. And then I wanted one.
Right.
So it does get hard to get rid of things when you do that. But at the same time, it's so much fun to look through. So I thought it was really interesting because I was watching the Essential Credentials episode, and I noticed like I think it's really important to do like a check-in and look at your collection to make sure you're still really attached to it outside of just something you have and you've logged away. It's like that sort of thing, and it just becomes a thing you sort of own.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's why I'm excited that I've got a scanner that can make the shiny cards look good as opposed to my other one. Because having a website, it's so fun when like, it's not just at work, but you're talking to somebody and you're like, hey, this card or whatever, and you're able to like pull up this, this curated collection that you can look through. You know what I mean? I know that you like doing that with your database and everybody else has it, but I think it's really important to do that. I have a question that I'd love everybody to answer in chat, if I think, and us as well. So it'll be a fun one to start, and then we'll get to the national. So I talked about like looking at your collection and being like, oh my gosh, this is really amazing. Like first of all, think about us being kids and one day like, hey, 30 years from now, you were going to have this collection. You'd have been like, okay, whatever.
Impossible. Impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible. It's not going to happen. But what is one card? Now, this doesn't have to necessarily be the most expensive card for everybody in the chat, but what is one card recently that you've looked at? And I think I might know the answer for you, but and gone like, I cannot believe that I own this. I cannot believe it. Like, it just doesn't really make sense that I am someone who has this card because, the chips fell correctly and we either made a connection and like somebody knew somebody who had this card or we eBayed it when it was cheap. But is there a card in your guys' collections that you look at and you just still are in awe that you are the owner of it currently? I'll go to you first, Ben, and then we'll get some chat stuff and all.
Yeah, I'm very curious to hear what the chat has to say too, so mine will be off the top of my head, especially after just going through the collection recently. 3 cards.
Okay.
And it's the 3 1997 Upper Deck original Game Used Jersey cards. Like the fact that I can look through my collection and pull out those 3 and hold them together is, print run is 100. So the fact that I own a complete set of those 3 is still, I don't know, flipping through, I was like, I can't believe I have this full set. And there are still people like really trying to get that Griffey card. Like it is a huge get.
Right.
And just to sit there and be like, I have all 3 of these. I have the first full run. It's like, I don't know. I pulled them out and I put them together. And I was like, I still kind of have chills pulling these out.
Yeah, post it in your story at some point, man. I think it'd be really cool just to like see them all together. I'm not much of a set collector, but when you have like a full run of something, like you're aware of cards now and like hockey cards, excuse me. So seismic goals, I think, are the coolest parallel that we do in OPG Platinum. Some might say Emerald Surge or Orange Checkers, depending on the team colors. But for me, keeping that seismic gold run from the first year we did them to now and having every one of those and just looking at them, you're like, man, that is so cool. So for that's such an iconic set that I think a lot of people lose focus of because there's so much game use now. So that's
right.
good. I like that. Yeah, those. I mean, I love the story about the Gwyn too. That will always be one of my favorites. That you told.
Yeah, that one never leaves. That one goes to my grave with me.
A couple answers on like what people are doing to appreciate their collections. First said, keep it out for a few days or switch it out for one of my stand cards. Yeah, so like I think obviously everybody can see my stands are gone. The cards are still here, but the stands are gone because I'll be moving in less than 2 months, and so I want to get stuff out so I can get into a smaller place. But I will definitely have a couple bookshelves, right? And you kind of rotate some cards here and there. I really like the way Ken's cardboard does it. You can see it in the background. He's got, this thing behind him when he records, and you can see like just some memorabilia and a couple cards here and there, and just it's nice to mix it up. So I think that's great. And then me and Michael's talking about, I have to make sure that I take the time to pull them all out to enjoy. I forget what I have sometimes. Yeah. I'm curious too. Have you ever gone back and watched one of your old videos and been like, whoa, I can't remember when I got this. I'm sure.
100%. And the other thing, I don't know, is like, I don't know if there are other folks in the chat that just get really busy with work and life stuff. One thing I've started doing is just putting like 30 minutes literally on my calendar. You're like, oh, this is a 30-minute like card time, whatever I want to do with it. And it's not like the selling, I got to ship stuff, like that kind of thing. It's 30 minutes for my collection. Even if I put it on my calendar. So right now I just have it like once a week is like, oh, I didn't, go through my cards or like flip through anything this week. Here's the 30-minute block that I have on like a Sunday to go through it. Actually, I have it on my calendar for Saturday mornings now. Just like, that's one thing I do if I'm not doing something else. 30 minutes, flip through, look through a few things. Like if there's something I want to take a new picture of, whatever, but like literally blocking out time to spend with your cards for me has been really helpful. It's like a really good reminder. And also it's a really good check-in of like, do I still really love this card? You flip through and you go, you know what? This one, maybe it's time to let go of this. And I've been thinking about this other card that I don't have. And maybe this is like something I can let go of and help fund this other card that I'm really excited about right now.
I like that. Especially, I'm not surprised. Like if anybody doesn't know in chat, Ben is definitely in charge of some things at work that require very detailed scheduling. And so I very much appreciate you like showing people that you can actually bring this into your personal life and into the hobby, because a lot of times it's so easy to be like, and it happens with you and I, we're going to talk on the phone. We're going to talk on the phone. But if it's not scheduled, well, then I get a phone call and then, oh yeah, my friend's got a hockey game and I'm gone. All of a sudden it's like crap, so if you don't schedule those things, a lot of times it's not going to happen. So that's a really good piece of advice. Couple answers that we got to our question. First said 2 cards, Ovi Young Guns I picked up this year, and an Ovi rookie auto I got 18, 19 years ago. Jeez, that's amazing, dude. Congratulations. That's really something else. Those, huge cards. I mean, Doug said, in awe of the 98.99 SPA, Sign of the Times Gold Auto out of 10. And a 12-13 Cup rookie tribute. I'm with you, bro. Those two cards.
Huge.
I'm gonna make fun of Doug right now. I love you, dude. By the way, don't worry. I have to though. So Doug. One thing we're talking about details. Doug is the most detail-oriented guy with 90s hockey that I know. A lot of guys collect it, but he knows the odds for every card he owns. He knows likely what the print run probably is, if any information's out there. So he has this auto out of 2, a buyback out of 2, and he goes, what are the odds on this? Can you look it up? I'm like, hold on, it's out of 2. Like, if I told you, you'd know how many cases there were. You know what I mean? Like,
right. That's pretty easy math.
So then we like gift back and forth. And I'm saying GIF. Everybody says GIF. It's a freaking GIF. It's a G.
It's a GIF.
Right? I taught English for crying out loud. But so I was having so much fun, like going back and forth. But I love that he wanted to know, because like, I don't know, 1 out of 100,000. It's like, it's probably not it, but still. He wanted to know. So you want to talk about a guy with the most like information. There you go. I mean, if you guys haven't looked up Doug's Instagram account yet, you're crazy, because it's insane what he's got for Bure. So anyway, I digress. You and me both know this set really well, right?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
You're right.
That is one of those cards you can pull out and just look at and be like, yep, that could just sit on my desk in a stand for 2-3 weeks, and it's going to look awesome every day.
Yeah, those cut above were something else. Gene and I still laughed that bottom part couldn't be cut out, but the feeder needed to grab something on the card, and the corner, those bottom edges would have been destroyed. So Luke, he made it. Shout out to Luke for making it today. He missed the last one and then said, "I missed an episode. What? I was at the National." But Luke, I would love to hear, and I'm sure Ben would too. Did you get to see him, Ben? Did you get to meet him?
Yeah, we met up on Thursday.
Okay,
He
good.
was there, so he's in the group photo, and we got to hang out, and everybody was chatting in the lobby for a bit. Yeah,
Nice.
it was awesome.
Yeah, he said his wife was digging for boxes for 8 hours one day for Larkins. I'm like, dude, you found a winner. That's exactly what I told
No
him.
kidding. He was out there taking the group photo with us, and he was like, "Yeah, my wife's in there digging through boxes for me. I'm out here taking the photo." I was like, "Nice."
Yeah, somebody buy her a beer, man.
Right.
it was a
She
glass.
earned it.
Oh, sheesh. Brent's got a great answer. 2009 Griffey Jordan SSP. I mean, the two greatest upper deck athletes of all time, arguably. Then you got Gretzky and David, but hobby wise, yeah, those guys are it. Yeah. All right. So how I figured we could do this with the National, Ben, instead of like, here, let's let you narrate for 30 minutes and then you might, kind of run out of steam there. I'm going to throw you some questions, just some 1 to 3 minute answers, depending on how detailed you want to get.
Sure.
I do want to throw it out there. If anybody in chat was at the National, of course, Luke, we know that you were. Kind of share some of your thoughts. But if you have a question for Ben, something you're curious about when it comes to the National, feel free to fire them away in the chat. I will make sure to get to them, so long as they're good questions. So, anyways.
I also have like 5 or 6 bullet points. So if you have some questions and then there's something I feel like I want to just touch on as well, I'll throw that in there.
Yeah, it's great because I know you're usually really good at being prepared for this kind of stuff. So I'm going to kind of start basic and I'll work my way down. But the first question for me is when you went 2 weeks ago, we talked about expectations. And those expectations, I'll let you kind of discuss those. But can you say what those expectations were again? Kind of refresh our memory, and then talk for a couple minutes about how was it going in with those expectations as opposed to like, I got to find the big card. So yeah, let's hear a little bit about that.
Yeah. So refresher, I really tried to reset my expectations this year to be, let's have fun and enjoy the show, appreciate it as like an experience.
Yeah.
Look at cards, get to see things that you wouldn't ever get to see in person otherwise. Really more enjoy the experience and don't have an expectation like I'm going to be looking for these 5 cards and that's my like laser focus and everything else is like a blur. I think sort of as a pivot from last year, I went in with like a tunnel vision of this is what I'm trying to do and like this is the kind of inventory I'm trying to grab and like I'm like working here. I'm going to work for the National. And this year was like I'm going to have fun. I'm just going to walk around. I'm going to enjoy the tables, talk to some dealers. If I find something great, if I don't, I'm actually going to be okay with that this year. Like I had to go almost. Greg was like a little bit of my guru in my head, and that Greg can go to a show and leave with nothing.
Yeah.
And he's like totally fine.
Yep.
And that's not really my personality. My personality is like, I go in, there is something here. I just have to find it, get to work and find it. And I really tried to just lay off of that and have more fun, just kind of enjoying the show, meeting the folks that we had in like our Facebook chat and just enjoying the experience, trying to be more chill about the whole thing. So that was kind of the way I went in. And long story short, I feel like that really paid off. And turns out if you have those good vibes and you're just enjoying yourself, sometimes good stuff just comes your way.
Yep. Isn't that like a story of life? You know what I mean? I feel like it just, something is not going to pull you out of a rut. But if you're in that like positive mindset to begin with, usually positive things come your way. And I can say that knowing that, at work, somebody that I used to work with, man, they were just always in a negative mindset. And that just, it's a perfect example. You know what I mean? And so you can look at this hobby 2 ways, and you and I think are make it a priority to look at the hobby again through positive lenses for the most part. And I think that sounds like it made a huge difference for you. I mean, look at this from Luke too. He said, I went in with no expectations and was blown away. Best show I've been to. I mean, are you sharing those sentiments overall?
Actually, yeah. So definitely the best National I've been to. I could get there. I could say it was the best show I've been to as well. I think it was really well organized. There's a couple like auxiliary bonuses, like the weather was really nice and the AC worked and the Wi-Fi was fantastic this year. So like
Oh wow.
all the
Okay.
things you want to like make the show more enjoyable were
Right.
all there. So you weren't distracted by heat or no Wi-Fi or all this other
Right.
stuff that could kind of make it not fun. So the environment was fun. The show was organized well. So all those things you kind of hope to make it less stressful were kind of
Yeah.
all in place. Yeah, and yeah, going in with like low expectations, and then, I mean, one of the cards I got was literally the first table I stopped at was like a crazy like, why would this be at the first table? Just sitting on a table, not even in a case. I
You
just
want to show us?
sitting on the table. I've got it here. This would be the very first card I picked up, just sitting on a table. I got it for $30.
MVP promotion. Look at that.
Yeah, just sitting on the table. And I mean, you know the story behind these 90s folks know the story behind these, that you're just not going to see one of these anywhere. And I've never owned one in my personal collection. So the fact that I just walked by a table and it was just sitting there.
There we go. See, I got the camera right. I fixed the camera. There you go. It was backwards.
Hey, there we go. Okay.
Okay.
Which is now throwing me off, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So yeah, just, I mean, that was a really good first sign, like walking in Thursday morning, like 9:30, and I bought my first card at 9:40. Like, oh, it's going to be that kind of show, huh? I have no expectations. I'm just going to walk and just see what I see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that. An MVP promotion. Okay. I'll go ahead and snag that and keep going.
That's crazy too, because I'm guessing that person really didn't know if what they had was that rare. So
no. Awesome. They had others. So actually, funny enough, I'll show these as well just for fun. So at that same table, because that was Thursday morning, I picked up these two for Matt.
Yeah, buddy.
I was shipping over to you. So the funny story, Matt, is these two were in the case, the display case, and the MVP promotion was not.
Right.
So that tells you the kind of table it was.
That's so sick. Thanks so much again for grabbing those, man. Because those two, especially the Power Rally, it's out of 100, right? And then Dial 1, it was from such a cheap product, but that insert always appealed to me even when I was a kid. So
it's a great looking, and I told you if you weren't going to buy it, like I sent it to you. I was like, if you're not going to buy it, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, no,
it was a great looking card. You see it in person, you're like, man, the foil is great. If Matt's like, nah, I don't want that one, it's like, oh, okay, it's mine then. I'm buying it.
But I mean, you definitely have to grab one in the future too. I think it's definitely worth it, 100%.
Oh yeah.
And this is something that's interesting too, as Luke was saying, that the breakers were kind of tucked away in the corner, and I think that's something
actually a note I had on my list as well.
Okay.
They put them all the way. So like the way the national that convention center is laid out, there's like left area, a middle, and kind of like a right area, and then this time they had an upstairs as well. And so in the middle area, all the way at the back is where they put all the breakers. So it's like middle all the way back, so you could like not see them at all if you didn't want to. They were not in the way. They weren't loud on the middle, kind of like Cleveland where they put that big stage in the middle and like you had to walk through.
Yeah,
totally opposite. They put them all the way in the back, and you could like be a part of that, and you could spin a wheel and do the thing and burr, and all that stuff. It was all kind of like in its own space.
Okay.
Which was really nice.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Heck yeah. All right. Question number 2. Wildest card you saw on the floor? What was the one card that, like, obviously you're not going to leave with it, but you're just like, I cannot believe that this card is here. This is amazing. I
mean, so off the top of my head, just casually sitting in a display case was a 98 PMG Jordan.
Oh, geez.
With a $300,000 price tag, just sitting in a case and surrounded by like $2,000 to $3,000 cards, like stuff that's like wild but not crazy. It was just casually in a case, just sitting there. And what's weird is at that point I walked around enough, and I'm sure Luke and other folks that were there you walk around enough, you're almost numb to that. You're like, oh, cool, good for them.
Yeah,
I just saw like a $60,000 card in this other case, so like I mean, it's more, but it's not crazy. I will say the other one that really caught my eye that I took some pictures of that I'm going to send to Greg was there was a guy there in that same area that clearly his PC was or is Frank Thomas, and he took up 2 display cases of just Frank Thomas cards, and they were the most insane. 1 of 1 bat barrels, 1 of 1 bat knobs, every single like 90s Frank Thomas you could possibly imagine. Wow. He had a PSA 10 24 karat in there. Just, I mean, every single, there was not a single Frank Thomas that was not like one of the best you've ever seen. And
Right.
2 full cases, like stacked full.
That's
Prices
amazing.
were nuts, but it was like, oh, this is maybe the best like high end Frank Thomas collection I've ever seen.
Mhm.
Just casually sitting there,
Wow.
all in 2 cases.
That's awesome. Cool. All right. Yeah, I think for me still, and maybe just because I got to hold the item, which was a Babe Ruth game used bat. That was, you spend so many years teaching, and students that don't know who Ken Griffey Jr. is know who Babe Ruth is. Like, it's a name that will be known probably forever until the Earth doesn't exist. So just to know that you held a piece of history, but to see that 98 PMG, I mean, talk about an iconic card. I think it was that, or it was the 98 Essential Credentials, the pink Kobe Bryant, just to see that in a display case. Was that one of those like ones with security guards around it?
Oh yeah,
that like an auction one or whatever. But that was, that was a pretty amazing to see. So, all right, next up for me would be, you talked about being able to, like, when you get in those parts of the day where it would be a little bit like you're kind of running on fumes. Were you able to kind of find ways to kind of, push through? I know you mentioned like bringing some headphones or doing something to kind of like reset and go back in there and look at more tables and stuff. Was there anything you were able to do to kind of keep the day going, or did you just kind of, when you felt tired, you left?
The only day I did that was actually Saturday, because in mid-afternoon it got so busy that you couldn't really do much walking around and viewing things anymore. So there was no way to reset. It was like, if I'm feeling worn out, there's no way to like recover from this insane, like how tight everything is. Like it became where it was like not enjoyable. It was hard to really, if you wanted to look at something, you couldn't really see. You had to like wait your turn like a carnival ride or something. Like, is this really fun? I'm getting knocked into constantly now.
Yeah.
But Thursday, Friday, actually, I would look to the comments too for folks like Luke or whoever that are good at like recharging the batteries. It's something I'm not really good at, but I did splurge for the VIP this year, and they had a really good VIP area that had like a fountain in it. It was like a lobby area.
Oh, nice.
So I could go sit at the fountain and just like chill for a minute.
Okay.
And that was like a good way to recharge. But I think my personality, once you're in the show, you're kind of like locked in. So for me, the only way I found to like recharge and keep going, like especially 2:33, but you want to just stay till 6 because you're already there.
Yeah, right.
It's like, go sit and just take like 15 minutes and just chill for a second.
Right, for sure.
Kind of flip through what you already have and like think, like what I would do is like flip through some notes. Oh, do I want to go back here? Do I want to go back here? Some pictures, or like look, honestly, the group chat was really a big savior, because I could just like, I wouldn't really be actively looking at the chat every time somebody posted something, but I could go take 10 minutes, flip through what people posted, kind of see the pictures or tables that people logged, or like somebody would find like a table that had great boxes, like $5 boxes. I would just flip through and like make some notes for myself, like, okay, let's in a way to recharge or get excited to go back out there. These guys found a really good table, so I'll make a point to like go back out to the table, and that's going to be exciting. And now I feel like I have a little bit of like afterburners to get back out there again. Okay. Just to go look at that one thing.
There was, and Doug, you must have came in just a little bit after we started. So I'll let Ben answer this one real quick. I was actually getting some messages from obviously some coworkers, because our booth was there. Hopefully I get to go next year. Fingers crossed.
Come on now.
But I heard that the hockey representation was a little bit better, if not a lot better, than last year and the year before. So I know that you weren't there looking for hockey last year, but I'm sure you noticed there was probably 3 or 4 hockey tables at Cleveland only. And the rest, it was like a corner of the, like, you know what I mean? Like the display case, like the bottom right corner is like 3 hockey cards randomly thrown in there. So how was it in your eyes this year?
So, and I'll caveat with this with, I'm a little more biased now because I'm thinking hockey a little bit, and I wasn't at all last year. So so I'm like, I wouldn't have even clocked it last year, but this year I was kind of clocking when I saw hockey stuff. Yeah, in terms of like last year, and you still see some of these tables, it's like, oh, they're gonna have a few hockey cards, and it's like, Lemieux rookies and a few Gretzky rookies. It's like the big iconic cards and then nothing else hockey, really, like not
Right.
true hockey cards. They were like legit full on hockey tables. Like I only buy, sell, trade hockey that like really stood out to me that I even would have clocked that last year and I didn't even really recognize it. I would
Right.
say a significant amount more. And there were some in like the upstairs news space that were pretty big, like 3 tables long of just
Wow.
hockey. And then like right down the middle, like galley area, 2 pretty big hockey tables, like big, like full circle, like or full square wraparound hockey, which I don't
Wow.
think I've ever seen before.
No, that's definitely new. I know GP Sports Cards grants. You know, we definitely get a lot of really good publicity from him, but he had probably a massive setup there, I would think. Along with there's another guy. He's a big Joe Sakic collector, but he tends to have a lot of like young guns and like graded hockey stuff. So those are the two that I remember prominently, along with a husband and a wife. But I think he had passed away recently, so I don't know if she's still set up or whatever. But yeah, it was cool. I'm really happy to hear that.
And I also did see even a boost in some tables that, so like one of the things I made a note of is I saw an uptick in what I would call mixed tables.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's normally average. You walk around and you're like, oh, that's a football basketball table, or
Yeah,
that's
right.
just a strictly baseball table. That's a vintage table. That's a ultra modern table. A lot more like mixed tables this year. Like I was
Nice.
seeing like newer, scrappier tables, like, you know, last few years kind of new, and you would see like a little bit, like literally a little bit of hockey, a little bit of baseball, some basketball, football, and like some vintage baseball or like pre-war baseball, like sprinkled
Okay.
in all on the same
Nice.
table, which is that's not the norm to see
All
all of
right.
that. Like you don't normally see like a Shohei Ohtani refractor rookie and a 1909 T206 in the same table, right? Like those
Okay.
guys are chasing one thing and this is another thing, and that's where I started to see more hockey on tables that I think I wouldn't have seen prior. Is like you would see some hockey, like some patch autos, like Connor Bedard's or Young Gun stuff that's like hit like pop culture sort of because that was such a big chase.
Yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
because that was such a big chase, you started seeing more hockey put into like those younger, scrappier tables that I don't
Nice.
think was there before.
That's awesome to hear. I think especially like Doug is saying, you know, Connor Bedard is playing in Chicago. There was a lot of hype around that first year. He didn't have a great year last year, but it is still Connor Bedard, right? And so you want to take note, and now might be a great time to buy in. I mean, his prices were absolutely insane, but
Sky high, yeah.
at the same time, you know, if he ends up going off and that team ends up being half decent, you never know. His prices could go back up, and Luke is confirming that, so that's great. So I'm glad Jeff talked about this. Tim Brommer's wife was there along with Tim's friend. They were set up at the upper level, so that might be one of those tables you saw.
That was the big hockey table I saw upstairs then. Yeah.
Good.
Which
And
was
they
a
were like
killer setup.
They were like a wraparound last year in Cleveland, right?
Okay,
So,
this year they were upstairs, so it was like 3 little skinny like walk-through rows, but they had like a pretty long setup on the last row.
okay,
It was just
good.
them. And it was solid. And it was, again, for me, newer to hockey, it was fun to walk by one like that and just see like crazy patch
Yeah.
autos and like just a stacked hockey table.
For sure, dude. No, that's awesome. Well, I know we got a few more minutes here before we get to our last 15 minutes. I know you probably got some more additions there that you would like to kind of show us. So you want to show us any more
Yeah,
that you came home with?
I got a couple. So like one table, you always find those tables that just have like random boxes and you can kind of make a deal. So I got all of these from one table. And I think I paid $9 for all of them. But it was one of those where you just find like stuff in the 90s era or early 2000s. It's great. So Scott Rowland, Bowman Refractor. I don't know if you know this guy from baseball, but Baseball History, the only guy to throw.
Are you asking if I know who that is? Come on now, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like a stat nerd. Let's go.
Yeah,
I know all about that guy. That's crazy how cheap it is, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think I paid $1 for it when I made this whole deal. So
wow.
Chrome
Piece
rookie
of history
auto,
right there, bro.
piece of baseball history. So I had to pick that up, and it just happened to be in that box. I mean, a Beltron X-Fractor out of 250.
Beautiful card. Wow.
And then he basically threw these in. So I've always liked the way this card looks.
Dude, what's going on with the camera right now? Do you see that?
So it's the green.
Oh,
So the sticker
okay.
is green, so it's thinking it's a green screen.
Okay. Now that insert actually, if you don't mind, shameless plug. Wait, can I say this? Never mind. I can't say it yet. Maybe in a couple more months. I'll tell you
Okay.
after the camera's off. I was going to
All right.
announce something. I'm like,
And
yeah,
then
I can't say it.
the last
All
one
right.
from the table was just the rainbow foil
Oh,
mantle
look
from
at that.
Heritage. Just look how shiny it is.
And a great picture, too, right? Like, come on.
Yeah, just a beautiful looking card.
That is so sweet.
Crazy.
Dude.
So I
I
got all
love
those
all the
like
shine, man.
yeah. So it was just like it was a table of pick up shiny stuff. Paid $9 for all those. Like that's just a
Nice.
fun flip through boxes.
Sweet.
I have one more surprise for you. So I found
Uh-oh.
one more A-Rod for
Hey,
you.
let's go, baby. I love it. And especially because it's from Pacific. You know what I mean? He's got the glasses
That's why I picked it up.
on, the sunglasses. Come on, dude.
Glasses, the cutoff, which I know some people don't like it. I
love
thought
it.
that look was kind of cool.
I love that look.
Great picture, sunglasses, everything about that
Yeah.
rules.
See, what's cool about this little lesson, not lesson, but like moment for everybody to remember. Ben knows that I would probably never buy that for myself, but because he got it for me, now there's a memory associated with it. Now I like it 10 times more. But
Now you're stuck with it forever.
No, well, yeah. Yeah, thank God. I mean, that's how it should be, right? But cool. Well, those are awesome, man.
I got a couple more here. I'll run through. I'll go like real quick, and then I have my last day pickup that was kind of a wild pickup.
All right.
So I did another table. Let's see. These were from one table. So got that for $2. Why not? It's a Griffey insert that's awesome on wood.
Great
Why not
picture.
do it? Got this for $3. How about a Star Rubies that this guy had hand signed?
Okay, first of all, why? But second of all, that's awesome because it's so cheap. So that's cool.
It was so cheap. I just don't have one in my collection. I was like, this is just such a funny thing to be like, whoa, super rare card. Someone decided to get that hand signed. That's a wild move. And then I forgot his name. We were there with you would remember the Felix Hernandez collector. He has like an insane.
You talking about Ryan or a different Felix Hernandez collector? Yeah,
it must be Ryan.
Like Ryan
has like an insane, like crazy, like 1,001 of ones of Felix.
Oh, yeah,
crazy
collection. Not Ryan, different guy. Yeah, the other guy.
I was chatting with him, and he's the man. Sorry, I forgot your name. You are going to watch this because we talked about it. But I ended up finding this for $1, which is Felix and Ichiro, and it's the gold out of 99.
That's sick.
And this didn't even. So this I got it for $1 because it wasn't even in a penny sleeve. It was just in the top loader. And he had it for $4 on the back, and I was like, "Hey, I'll give you $1. It's like not protected." And he was like, "Okay."
Oh my God, Greg would be so proud of you right now because he finds like great deal. He used to find deals on salmon that were already like 50% under comps, and be like, "I'll give you 2 instead of 4."
Yeah, I was just like, "Hey, there's no penny sleeve, so I can only give you $1." He's like, "Fine." Then another Ichiro just to add. This set's nuts, but this one's out of 55, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
I like that picture, and it's the base hit. If you're gonna have one of the Ichiro from this set,
that's the one to have. Yeah, no, yeah, because that's what all of them are.
And then I actually ran into this guy last year, and it was actually the guy that had this collection. He was a huge Palomero collector, and he passed away, and so his friend was there with the whole collection.
Wow!
And he had this, which is the blue ink auto out of 25,
hand numbered too, man. I love that
hand numbered. Killer card. I actually really like this design, like this whole small square, large square with the. It's just a great picture. Wow. He has a great autograph, and I didn't have one of his cards, so I picked this up for $12. Why not?
Very cool. All right.
And then the last one before the one big one I got on Saturday was here's another $25 purchase. You just find the cards sometimes,
dude, and it's Hall of Fame pitcher too. Am I right? Or yeah,
Hall of Fame pitcher. I have. For some reason, I have like a few cards of his now. So I have the 93 refractor, the 94 refractor, the 95 refractor from Finest, and now this one. So I have the most insanely curated collection.
He was a great one too, man.
Yeah. So just like a wild card to pick up for $25. And then last day, I was hand ringing. So long story short, I was really interested in this Ty Cobb card, and I was moving some money around to maybe get it. And I went back. It was upstairs. So it was. This guy had a case of full modern and then this one Ty Cobb that's a very rare Cobb, and he had it priced honestly a little under market, but it was expensive.
Okay.
So I kind of had to think about it on Friday, go back Saturday. I got the money together for it, went back up there, and he's like, "Oh, somebody came by and just paid full sticker price. Like, didn't even haggle." I was like, "Ah, I knew that was going to happen because it was such a good deal." And I was like, I was a little bummed about it, and then went back downstairs to where I was looking at this Barry Bonds auto that I liked, but the guy had it like way overpriced again. He was a Barry Bonds collector, so it was everything is priced that it's my PC kind of thing. I don't want to. I was sitting there kind of like, bummer. Should I maybe just overpay for this so I leave with one big thing that I'd be happy with?
For sure.
Guy walks up to the table next to me. He's like, "Hey, I'm trying to sell this card. Would you guys be interested in it?" And I just looked and I was like, "I'd be interested." And the guy at the table was like, "Oh, if you're interested, you can talk with him first." And so I took the guy aside. We ended up like really getting along. He was a great guy, kind of collects a similar way, just kind of hit it off a little bit. He had a price in mind. I went a little lower than that, what I thought was fair. And then I actually said, because he was in town, so he was local, and he's like, "I'm only here for one day, so I'm just going to try to do as much as I can." I was like, "Hey, if you knock $50 off of where you are, like when we're meeting in the middle, I will show you around, and I have this long thread of all the tables from my buddies of the stuff that you would be interested in. Knock $50 off, and I'll take you around and just point you to the tables and just send you a list of all the good stuff." And he's like, "Deal." So,
whoa, holy crap! I was not expecting that. Oh,
so that was the last card, and I got it for he was very, very reasonable.
Dude,
after we talked. We became buddies.
Cool.
We exchanged some information. He was really cool. So it almost became like a friend deal that he knew he was giving it to somebody that really wanted it.
That's the best kind of deal. Congrats, man. That is freaking amazing, dude.
And you know how long I've wanted one of these and just passed.
Yeah.
And then it was just a dude that I had a copy, wanted to get rid of it.
Yep.
And I mean, I owe him one because it was like very, very reasonable what he decided to do. After really, he didn't even sell it to me until after we had walked around and talked.
Nice.
So it was like, "Hey, now that we've talked and whatever, I think your like original price was fair. Like I'd be willing to do that for you."
Like, that's awesome. Well, it's funny too, because you remember I was this close to leaving a show in Washington with one of those, and I just was like, this is a card that I've loved for a long time and just never got around to grabbing it. But if either one of us was going to get one, I'm really glad that it's you, because like that with the SPX now, that's going to be like the perfect pairing that ever existed.
Side by side is perfect for me. Like, I was so stoked. And it was literally after that, and it was on Saturday, it was getting crazy busy. We walked around, we did the deal, and I was like, I think I'm done. I think I can go home.
That's crazy. Did you see what Luke just said? I pulled that card, and I mean, not that exact card, but he pulled one of those in 2001. Do you still have it? I imagine you sold it so you can get Larkins. I'm going to say that.
Probably.
Luke also said, I knocked a big one off my buy it when I see it list. I will post it either tonight or tomorrow. Can we get a hint? Maybe not. I don't know. You want it to be a surprise.
Well, Luke, was that the one you showed me when we met up as a group?
Okay.
I'll know right away if it was that one or not.
Well, dude, I'm like, if you would have left with just that one card, show worth it, right? With that interaction that you had and like just making connections. That's always one of the best parts of going to the Nationals or to the National, is making connections with new and friendly collectors that you've already known. Yep, I agree. Yep, I think Doug will always say that that's one of the better sets. And so, yeah, congrats, man. That's I mean, you've crossed up the two biggest Ichiros. I mean, the ultimate is probably one where Sarah might send you to stay with me or live with me if you bought it. So don't do that.
Yeah, but, and there was one at the show, and I was like considering it, but the auto wasn't. I'm so picky about that card now because I've seen so many of the 250 copies that I'm really picky about that one.
I'm not going to be a guy that motivates you to do it, but Ray still has one, and you could move a lot of your stuff to do it. I'm just saying. It's there.
And his is a good copy.
It's the right guy to get it from. But anyway, I digress. Congrats again on an amazing show. We appreciate the.
If I could share one more fun story. So I brought some cards to sell while I was there. Like you and I talked about it. One of the strategies was just stuff. If I could sell it like 75% comps, I'd be happy to do that. Just like let it go, have some extra cash for the show. I'm walking around looking at a table, and these guys walk up, and one of them's like, "Hey, you got any Mark McGwire?" And I turn and look at him, and he's wearing like a "I'm the Mark McGwire guy" like T-shirt that he's made.
Did he have a goatee?
Yes, and he was with a buddy of his, and I happen to have a Mark McGwire autograph, like the Panini 3-2, like depth, like 3D card.
Yeah,
out of 10, great looking card. And I was like, I can let this one go. And I was like, hey, I actually have a Mark McGwire. Made a deal with him, so he got the Mark McGwire auto out of 10 from me.
Sick.
And then people are going back and posting in our Facebook group or chat, which has like 35 people in it, out of the 110,000 at the show, or how many people went there.
Right.
And a dude posts from our chat, and he has the card. So I sold it to a guy from our 35-person chat.
Well, was his name Eric?
No.
Or was it something with a J, maybe?
A D?
I know it's too bad Tyler Mild isn't around anymore. He's got, congratulations to Tyler. He used to come on here all the time and he sent your credentials. He's got 3 kids now, so he's a little bit busier than he used to be, but he would probably know who it was. We used to joke about that arch nemesis.
Anthony. Anthony was his name. Yeah, so he posted all his McGwires, and I was like, yo, I think I sold you that card.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like out of 100,000 people in the 35-person group we have, I sold one card to a guy randomly in front of a table.
Yeah, that is pretty wild, bro. Well, congrats on that sale. That's what a crazy story. What are the odds?
What are the odds?
Yeah, no doubt, man. Cool. Any other notes there we didn't get to? Are you ready to wrap up with our rapid fire?
Let's see. I mentioned the mixed tables. I think that's a new thing. I think we'll see that moving forward. People know so much more about cards and can do research. I would imagine almost every table moving forward is going to be mixed if you're serious about really selling.
It has to be now, right? It can't just be Ohtani and Wemby. Yeah, you got to move away.
Massive mixed tables, mixed sports, mixed eras, all that stuff, which was really nice. But it made you have to focus. You have to look at every table now. You can't go, oh, it's a basketball table. It's like, well, it's a basketball, but they might have a Griffey auto in there or something,
That's awesome.
So that was cool. Breaking area was siloed. Hustle culture was at an all-time high, but pretty avoidable for the most part. Like all-time high hustle stuff. But didn't have to be around it. Just don't go to trade night. You're fine.
Yeah, I know. I will never go to one of those. There's maybe hockey trade night, but even then, it's like maybe we'll see.
Maybe. And then my last note, which I've kind of touched on already, I said teamwork makes the dream work. Like literally some of the stuff you would not know what tables to go to without having a chat. Like we had 35 people in that chat all like looking and contributing, and I still missed stuff. Still people found things that was like, oh, I would have bought that if I had seen it. So I would say if you're going to a huge show, whether it's like a regional show with 700 to 800 tables or the national, try to figure out people to go with or work together as a team, because you can't possibly see everything or identify every team that's going to have stuff that's worth it. Like there's literally not enough hours. If you went Wednesday through Sunday the whole time, it's not possible.
Yep. And just like you were saying, Ryan said, the annoying hobby grifters and corporate stuff was easy to avoid this time, was nice. So
yeah,
cool. Selfless or selfish plug. Did anybody have any good interactions with anybody at Upper Deck while you were there? Because like 4 out of the 6 people on my team were there, except me and the person we just hired less than a month ago. So we were chomping at the bit, and we were hearing stories. So I'd love to hear if anybody had any experience over there. All right, let's jump into some of these questions. These are going to be rapid fire. Most of them are card related. Have a little bit of fun here before we wrap it up for the day, for the night. Excuse me. So would you like to start us off, Ben?
Okay, let's go with. When you look at your collection, do you feel like anything is missing when you go through it?
I mean, realistically, no. No, it really isn't. I mean, we all have want lists, and actually, yes, but hopefully not for very long. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know why I wasn't thinking this. Yes, but hopefully not for long. Yes, there's one thing. One thing that's missing.
That's very interesting. Okay.
So, what about you?
Yeah, it's a tough one. That's why I posed it to you, because it's a tough one for me to decide. Is it a want list or missing, like literally a gap in the collection?
Yeah.
The only one I have right now is the 1998 Topps Gold Label Red Row 3 Randy Johnson out of 25.
The trio.
Yeah, anytime I have something that's missing in a run that I know I want to have completed, it feels like it's missing from the collection. But outside of like that specific one, I really don't have anything I feel like I'm missing. There would be stuff I would love to add to the collection to make it feel more complete, but I don't feel like I have a gap.
Gotcha.
But I always think it's important to like make it different, like delineate there, right? Like you're making a rainbow, you're missing something, but if you're just like wanting things, don't feel like you shouldn't look at your collection. Maybe it's more therapeutic for me as like less than because you don't have things in the collection that other people do or that you wish you could have in the collection, right?
Yes.
Dude, that's why I asked the question.
Luke, for
I do
anyone
feel
that
that way.
is listening and not watching, Luke said, every Larkin I don't have is missing. And what's funny is like, I know how, and you met Luke, like he's so chill, but to see him say that is quite hilarious. I mean, I'm going to say for you, you are missing one card, and that's the Ultimate Ichiro Auto. I will be so ecstatic for you to own that card. There's a couple cards I can think for A-Rod and for Marc-Andre Fleury that are in that same realm that I hope I own someday. Like a PMG from 98, that would be the same level of card where it's like, this is really irresponsible. But you never know. So, okay, my first question for you. This is a fast one, easy one. And again, for everybody in the chat, feel free to answer any of these questions. I like that we've got a couple of these.
Yeah,
Crosby,
post your answers.
Hirsch, grab it now before it gets more expensive because
yeah, that one for sure.
First question for me is, what is the cheapest card that you own that if you had a display case like I used to have that you would display? Like the cheapest one, but you just love it so much it deserves to be in a display case.
Yo, that is such a good question.
So the question again for everybody that wants to answer in the chat, what is the cheapest card you own that still deserves to be displayed in a display case if you had one?
Man, that's a really good question. You know, I have a really, really beat up 1951 Bowman Duke Snyder that my dad got for me. That's probably worth about $7.
Nice.
But it was in that era where he started buying like vintage stuff when I didn't care. But he recognized like it was cool and probably going to be worth something down the road, or like just it was players that he remembered watching.
Right.
And I still own that exact copy, and it's got to be worth not much because of its condition and it's raw.
Okay.
Immediately that would go in a display case for sure, because it's part of like my collecting story, right?
Right. 100%. That's the exact route I went. The Joey Cora and the Ken Griffey Jr. from 96 metal. The Griffey's worth like $5 to $10. The Joey Cora is worth like $1 at the most. But having the card that I pulled with my dad 2 days after Christmas when he came up to Alaska to see me and us freaking out and high-fiving, same type of thing. That would easily be the answer I have.
So if we can pull up for a second, funny that we both didn't mention like a cool looking card that's cheap. It was the nostalgic or the memory associated with it. So like, I think that's important to note. It's a lot about what's associated with the card, not just the way the card looks.
Right. Great answer here from Ryan Fitzgerald. My 1989 Donruss Griffey that I got from a pack in 89. Beat up corners and everything, typical from 9-year-old kid. But you can have the nice copy that's a PSA 10 over there, like in the box or on display. But having the OG, that's 3 people that have said the same thing. And then your dad said, "You're right. I was just guessing on what was good."
Yeah.
Love that. Awesome.
Not good. What's important?
There you go. That's it. All right. What do you got next?
Not car related. Where do you wear work these days? Do you have to wear UD stuff?
No. I wear nice pants, and then I have a variety of. It's so hot, right? For me, right? Like 85 is hot. So
yeah, you're coming from the north. You're coming from the northern territory.
Yeah. Well, I just wear nicer t-shirts right now. I like a lot of hoodies. I finally got my first like button-up polo with an Upper Deck logo on it. So I'll probably wear that on days that I do interviews or whatever on podcasts. But we're pretty lucky at work. You know, on Fridays maybe I'll be more casual with like some joggers or something. But I try to wear nice shoes and nice pants, and then have like a t-shirt or you know, a hoodie when it's a little bit colder. So yeah, that's. I'd ask you the same question, but I mean, you work from home, so like a nice top and
literally
sweat.
this. No, literally this. What I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, there you go. All right, cool. We got one more answer. Luke said his the Larkin base top strum. That's so cool. Even though they're base cards, those are the cards that started it all. And I like how we basically all said we all said base cards.
Yeah,
that's crazy. See, doesn't have to be expensive. All right, I'm going to ask my non sports one, and this could be tough for some people, but part of my brain is ADHD like anybody, right? But I get into the zone when I'm scanning a lot of cards or I'm at work and I'm listening to an album on repeat. So I'm curious for you, what is an album and who's the artist that you could listen to 10 times in a row? It just stays on all day, but the album is so good and there's so much variety, right? That it just it's always good, no matter how many times the album plays. I've got an answer nobody will know, but I'm curious what you would say to that.
Tame Impala, Inner Speaker.
Okay.
So Tame Impala is the band Inner Speaker. It's one of their earlier albums.
Okay.
It's a little bit like psychedelic rock. So there's some lyrics, but it's like the vocals are very kind of mixed into the instrumentation. So for me personally, when I work, I can't have too many vocals because I start thinking about the words. So I either have to go like almost like classical or like Medeski, Martin and Wood or something that's like all instrumental, or something like a Tame Impala where the vocals are like mixed in and it sounds like another instrument. And it's psychedelic rock. There's some longer songs, some like instrumental breaks, and like it's like a vibe thing, so it can get you into like a rhythm. So like Tame Impala, if y'all don't know, Inner Speaker, the earlier stuff, very vibey, easy to listen to and work.
Very nice. All right, I just want to pull up a picture of this because it'll kind of explain why I went after it. So way back in the MySpace days, when MySpace was still around, if everybody remembers, it was when suggested music started coming around. So this is back in like 2008, I want to say, late 2008. I was looking around and I saw this picture pop up on MySpace. I'm like, man, that is some cool album art. You know what I mean? Like it looked like a mask, I thought, but it's just a shattered light bulb, right? So I went to the artist page, and the artist is called Serenic, and the album is The White of Our Lies. And Brian Zuckerman was doing it all himself at that point, and he was super cool, man. Like I connected with Brian. He's like, yo, I'm glad you like the album, this and that. And so we ended up having a friendship that's still going on today. I just did a chat with him about a month ago, a video chat. And I mean, this is a guy who's a photographer. He's a website designer, and he's a musician, things that I don't do necessarily, at least that well. So yeah, it was amazing finding that album. When I listened to it, it's like very OG, produced on his own. It was awesome. So
nice.
I love that album, and I could listen to it anytime, anywhere. So I figured I'd do a nice little non sports one for you too, non card one. But we have a little bit of time left. Do you have another card one for me?
Okay, this is going to be a very tough one. Also interested to see what the chat has to say. If you could bring back any one product from anybody that ever made a product line, do you have one off the top of your head that you would go, sure, let's bring that back?
Yeah, Emotion. Yeah, 100%. I mean, who knows if it would do well now, because it was kind of a quirky product, but the photography aspect of it is, I love that set so much, and I think it's more of a nostalgic thing. But what about you?
It's really funny you say that, because remember, I don't have the box down here, but I bought the Emotion box. And I flipped back through some of the, you can see really good pictures of the cards online. The Emotion and the year, what was the year after? It was the
Emotion EXL.
The EXL. I love that set so much, with like those nice borders. Like, I know Donruss kind of did it later with the Diamond Kings and doing like the borders on the cards, but the original version of the EXL was so nice. Like a card like that again, where the base card has like some layered level to it, is just, it's so luxe. It's funny you were thinking that, because the reason I came up with the question, I was looking at the box upstairs like, they should bring this back. Yeah. I was like, I wonder what Matt would think. But that's absolutely one of my favorite sets. I mean, really, those 2 years, incredible.
And it ended up becoming EX essentially. So like, kind of fits in the same thing. But I'll bring Emotion back as an insert one day. You watch. I'll have them look just like they used to. Okay, one more from me, because I know we're running out of time here. Okay, I'm gonna go with this one right here. Give me a card / set, like an insert set, that doesn't get the love it deserves from 90s. We're going to start with 90s and then we'll go to modern. So let's start with 90s. This is the last one for everybody in the chat. What is like a set, an insert set that deserves way more love than it's getting? I mean, yeah, I agree with Doug on this one. If only Pinnacle.
I mean, yeah, no brainer. But okay, Pinnacle's got me thinking that literally any Pinnacle Museum collection gets not nearly the love that it deserves. But if you're talking specifically inserts, I think it's the 97 Fleer Lumber Company, which is like fully die cut around the middle.
Yeah, I literally took that out of my case today.
Oval.
That's sick.
Dude, I think that's so underrated. So like maybe that, and then like Diamond Producers, what is it, 98, the year that has the wood and the felt.
Nasty. Those are
wood,
nasty.
Felt, foil, like it's everything on one card.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, Star Factor limited exposure. Those are crazy cards.
That's a fantastic call too. Like I think those are gorgeous. I mean, anything that's like a double-sided refractor, I think doesn't get the love that it should get. It's like the amount of work that goes into that to have both sides be gorgeous, where you could almost just rotate the card and it looks amazing on both sides.
Yeah. This is another great choice. I need to get another Tebow. I used to have one. Diamond cuts for Flair. Yep, absolutely. And Greg would love this answer. Any of those inserts that were printed on wood from 96 to 97. Yeah, you've got one there right now.
I was going to say, literally this. That doesn't get the love. I got this card for $2 for a Griffey. It should be worth way more.
Yeah, 100%.
It's so cool.
It's hard for me not to think baseball because that's what I'm looking at right now. I mean, honestly, man, this is tough. Like, man, this is such a cop-out answer, but I still can't believe they're as cheap as they are for most players. If you were to buy a box of 97, 98, 99, or 2000 Topps Chrome, how many refractors do you get per box?
2.
Exactly. And each of them are Series 1 and Series 2. I think 2000 was just one run mill, if I remember correctly. But still, you're looking at a 200-card set. Okay. And then you see a guy that's a mid guy, like an Albert Bell, sell for like $10. That's ridiculous. Yep. Those refractors are like, you would open like 30 cases and maybe not even get an Albert Bell. Now, I know a ton of it was printed, but still, like a refractor outside of the big guys, like a base refractor, even like the subset refractors. There's some crazy cool A-rods out there for so cheap. I'm like, dude, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? So I think some of those don't get nearly the love that they deserve. And then the second part of that too is like, what's a modern insert set that you think doesn't get the love that it deserves? I'm going to have to go hockey on this one for sure, but I'm curious if you're going to go baseball.
Yeah. Man, everything baseball is so, once it hits, it's so hyped that it's.
I said boring. That wasn't very nice. A lot of them are pretty dull. That would be the better answer.
Yeah, a lot of them are dull. So you unfortunately with baseball and modern, you're limited a little bit. Because they're either dull and kind of cheaply made, or they're really, really hyped and become desirable to everybody. So they're not really undervalued or underrated.
Like all aces or all kings. Yeah, I mean, like those are like crazy hype, but crazy nice. So there you go.
Yeah, I would say though the first year they did those in 2022.
Yeah,
but it looked like a playing card, but like flat.
Yeah,
they still look cool. And the way they did the foil on top is it's not the whole front. It's just like sort of fuzzy, like around the player and around the name of the card, and then it's like a matte on like the outside. So it's like it's very tastefully done, but a little bit subtle, so you wouldn't know. I think those now, because the newer ones are so popular, those are now more expensive. But I mean, I remember those. You would pull one and you go, it was 111 packs. It's fine, whatever. So there was a period where those were undervalued, but I think we're in a weird situation with modern. If I'm thinking baseball, it's either way overhyped and then it's already expensive, or it's really not worth it and it's kind of just a cheap toss away insert. Really, I don't know of one that would be. I think the Seven Wonders, because not just because I have one, but I think you can get one of those for like pretty reasonably priced, considering there's only 75 printed. There's the red out of 76. There's the 1 of 1, the red out of 5, and then the one numbered 70.
It should have just done the 70. Or
they just done the 70.
You know,
70 and 7 would have been really cool. but there's 70. Yeah, so there's 76 total, which is way less than a lot of the other rainbows for everything else they do, right?
Right.
And yet you can go buy like a Mookie or honestly even a Shohei. Go buy the Shohei out of 70. It's going to cost you like $400.
Yeah, dude,
But there's
that's
only 76 total cards of that one. Like you would
right.
think it'd be worth way, way more, and it's just not selling for that. I think
Yeah.
that one's really like undervalued, or for some reason people don't see it as like a chase when I think it should be.
And I'm not sure if that's just because they're kind of like numb to inserts being a good thing or something, but
I think there's some. It's like what? There's no like autograph or nothing, anything on it. So like, why? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one is. It's probably one of the more rare numbered inserts they've made in like the past few years of products.
Yeah, no, and I love the theme of it, and the numbering is correct too. It's just, yeah, it's a perfect. It's one of those near perfect cards. I think for me, I'm going to go with an insert that's been going on since we brought back Fleer Ultra for 21-22, and that is an insert that hockey collectors should know, and I'm sure you know a little bit. It's called Premier Padman, and in '96 there was a horizontal design that was a gold background, and the word Padman was die cut or laser cut out of the card. So you have that. And then in 21-22, like there was a net that was die cut, and Gene designed that. The next year, and Fleury has one for each, thank goodness, it was a horizontal one, and on the one side of the card, there was a net kind of mesh die cut. So that looked good. But I have to use this as a way to show when I good way to wrap this show up. When I first got hired, my first or second week, I got access to see like the digital mock-ups of every card that would be printed for every product, which was great for me because I could look up, oh, Fleury's going to be in this. So the one that just came out a few days ago on ePack, when I saw this card for the first time, like I was like, that is one of the coolest looking cards I've ever seen because the intricacy of the die cut and the photo. Yeah. And so I, overspent, you could say. I bought a box of Ultra and traded my way to get one. And this is what it looks like this year. And yes, I think your dude has one. So, prepare yourself. Here is 23-24 Premier Padman insert.
What?
And so it's on rainbow foil board, and you've got like the black and white photo, but look real closely at like
that's all die cut in there.
It's all die cut in here. And these are going to sell for probably way less than they should. But I'm just saying, if you're a hockey guy and you like 90s inserts and goalies, those are where it's at. And feel free to go buy a Fleury now that I have one, because if I didn't, I don't think I'd share it yet. But when I saw it, I thought to myself, this might be one of the most perfect cards that I've seen since I've been hired here. And I got to give a shout out.
Gotta have one, right?
Oh, yeah. What's that?
My guy has one, right?
He should. If he doesn't, I would be absolutely shocked because he did one for every goalie. But I got to give a shout out to Pat, my dude Pat. He was at the National. Big, happy, jolly guy, red beard. He's a huge 90s guy. So we'll eventually have to have him on. But he made sure that this came true. And he and Gene, it's funny, the concept he came up with, Gene goes, I got a better idea. And she did that. So also shout out to Gene. Big surprise. Crazy. She came up with a crazy, insane, awesome card. So yeah,
that thing's
awesome. Oh, you did? Who did you hit, Persh? If it's Saros, talk to him.
I need
if it's Darcy Kemper, let me know, because I like Darcy Kemper. Anyway, that was fun. I thought it would be fun to just throw some random questions at each other, especially on the cuff or off the cuff, where you kind of just don't know what's coming. Obviously, to recap, really happy that you had such a good show overall. Mm-hmm. It sounded like you went in with the right expectations and had some great interactions. Honestly, if you go in there not expecting anything to happen, you'll be very pleased with all the different experiences that you have. I think when you go there with a mindset of this is going to happen, you're right. It really can kind of ruin it or just take away from it a little bit. Any other final thoughts on the National after going for as many days as you did?
I think this will probably be record-setting attendance. It was crazy busy.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, it was just really well organized and put together this year. Like They really stepped up their game. I'm not sure if it was because Fanatics Fest or extra, whatever is going on, but like significantly improved.
Good.
Really, really good. And I think part of that was just my mindset. Last year was I have to do one of these things or else the show is a failure.
Right.
This year was like, I'm just gonna go have fun. I'm
Mhm.
gonna see my internet friends and buddies and people we've talked to that I can see in person and hang out, and like if something happens, it does, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. I'm gonna just enjoy seeing the cards.
Right.
And wouldn't you know, I walked away with one of the cards I really, really wanted, and that Ichiro.
I'm so stoked for you, bro. That's yeah. I think I might be more excited about that than the card that I crossed off. I crossed off my number 3, and it's been on the way for over a week now, I think. So, I mean, it's a perfect card. I mean, it really is. That Ichiro is an amazing. It's spring training photo. Like, yeah, that's
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Ryan said the National was great, nice weather. Not hot on the floor this time like it was. Yeah, that was. I wore a hockey jersey for a bit of the first day. It was just brutal. More 80s to 2000s type cards I see. All right, well, we're headed in the right direction. So that's awesome to hear. Cool, man. Well, thanks again. Big shout out to Ben for flying home and getting on in the same night. So thanks for doing that for us, man. Cool.
I guess Luke did it too, right?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, nice. That's very cool. No, he's a good young goaltender. Congrats on hitting that one. All right. Well, if there is anything else, massive shout out to everybody in the chat. We had double-digit viewers almost the whole episode, people chatting with one another.
Awesome.
Again, the community is everything for us, and we love doing that. I'm going to put Ben on the spot here because I closed the show with a great quote last time. So I know you've been stewing. No, you don't have anything?
No. What?
Good.
You're gonna do that to me? Jet lag?
Yeah.
Come up with something on the fly?
See, yeah, I wasn't serious. I just see how you're going to react. But if you could one time show one more time your treasured pickup from the National. Man, we want to see that Ichiro one more time.
So this is my big takeaway.
Nice. Congratulations, and W's in the chat for Ben, everyone. Isn't that what all the kids say on their Twitch streams?
I will say, from our group, the folks that were there in the Facebook group chat that we had going, a lot of people got some like really great, like awesome, either Grail or close to Grail level pieces for their PCs. So I feel like everyone walked away happy. So that's another takeaway from the show, was like the stuff was there. People were able to acquire it for a price that was reasonable. Cool. So like, yeah, just really good. Awesome.
Thanks, Persh. Appreciate you. All right. Well, we appreciate everybody being here. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. And just like I said last time, remember, if you're doing this because you're having fun, you're going to love it. If not, get out. All right.